There are some days you just can't wait for the sun to rise to experience something new in the outdoors. This was one of them for me. Larry Jennings of Traverse City asked if I wanted to join him and Eric Chatterson for a morning of jigging for salmon. Naturally, I jumped at the opportunity to see this technique in action.
We're out here at Muskegon Lake and gonna do some jigging for salmon. And a lot of guys. This is a popular area for salmon jigging. I've been doing it for a long time. Grew up in this area, but we basically are dropping vertical jigs down, and as these fish are coming through, they're getting ready to make their push. We got a north wind. Fish are blasting through. They come through and they snap them up, and it's a lot of fun. So, and we're using bass rods on top of that just because we can. So, it's a good time.
The salmon run can be very tricky to hit. One day the salmon will be staging at the river mouth, and with a rain shower like we had the night before, they can be gone the next day.
This is really the best way to charge all your glow lures is actually these UV or black light. They don't really light up a lot, but they really charge and excite the glow. So yeah, so let's charge it up, ready to go. So. These will last 3 hours. These will glow for 3 hours. That's really the best way is the UV light. So if you have a black light, I mean the camera flashes and those that work good, but really the best way to glow any of your glow-in-the-dark stuff, doesn't matter what brand, are UV lights. And so they work good and they last a long time. So we're gonna get in the water and see what we can do.
I had never jigged salmon before, so I asked Larry to explain what jigging technique works best on these fall fish.
Honestly, everyone's got their own. Usually it's kind of a sharp lift with a controlled fall. Some guys I know just twitch it just a little bit. Some guys do the giant jig. Sometimes if you're really trying to cover water, especially in deep water, we're like 100-foot water. Sometimes we do open water jigging for these fish, and so we're doing a lot of covering a lot of water, and that fall is what seems to get them to go. A lot of hits happen on the fall, so you want to kind of control your drift. Usually not hard to tell if you get a hit though. It's not like walleye jigging or anything like that where you're just trying to feel. I mean, these things usually slam it pretty good. So it's weird some days. I've seen 4-year-olds jig salmon, and these grown men can't get hit. So we were out a couple weeks ago, and a 15-year-old girl out jig everybody on the lake. So it really is kind of a personal thing, and you just find out what they want some days. I think a lot of it is really that comes down to the jig though, and what you got on the end of your line. These fish can get real selective, and so size, colors, salmon are so selective. That's why there's a whole industry of spoons and flasher flies, all that stuff. So same thing with jigs. So it really is, it depends on the day really, and how aggressive the fish are. So
the odds were stacked against us on this day. Not only had many fish moved upriver during the night, but there were thousands of alewife in the system.
This morning we got a lot of alewives here in the system, and which is typical when the lake flips like this. And so there are fish around, but we're competing. There's a few fish hooked up, but it's a lot slower this morning, so hopefully we can get some on camera. There he is, nice fish. There we go. Nice fish.
Salmon this time, huh?
Yeah, finally. About time. Trying to get some on video.
Nice fish?
Yeah. Nice fish, yeah.
Should be a nice.
You feel him smack it, feel him crush it. That was pretty cool. Bring him there.
Which side do you want him?
How do you want him netted, Joe? Yep. There you go. You want the lumberjack or you want to?
Good job. Good
There
job.
we go.
Nice silver.
Nice chrome fish.
Nice fish.
2 ounce Jonah jig, fire tiger. Right in the corner of the mouth, right in the jaw. So
we're competing with
cool.
We're competing with,
with
alewives today,
yeah,
so
exactly.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
When Larry started jigging for salmon, he couldn't find the variety of jigs that he was looking for, so he started his own business making them, called Jonah Jigs.
When it comes to color selection, some fish aren't as particular about color. Salmon and trout can be very selective, and especially the weather conditions can change. So today, actually, fire tiger was good for us. But the chartreuse, your greens, a lot of times your glows, and obviously glow in low light. more your chromes and you know, metallics during the day when the sun's up. But it really pays to have a good selection of colors and sizes too. Some days they want a smaller jig with a slower fall. Some days they want it fast, and we even, you know, we go into heavier stuff. So I make I make a 1 through a 3 ounce actually. My jigs, and we switch around, but 2 ounces is usually really pretty good, middle of the road. But yeah, so it's every day is different, and so it helps to have a good selection.
It was a slow morning of jigging, but our hopes rose when the Lake Express car ferry was spotted coming into the channel from its trip across Lake Michigan.
What's happening right now?
Car ferry's coming. You got to get out of the way.
And then what do you say about the car ferry?
Car ferry, you know, it's interesting here. What my experience has been, when the bite kind of dies, car ferry will come through. It seems to stir the fish up. So hopefully after this thing comes through and chops up some bait and gets some fish stirred up, maybe we'll kind of reignite the bite here for a little bit. We'll see what happens. So there we go. I think that's a big sheep's head.
It's pulling pretty good for sheep,
I'm
I'll say that.
Or a really big walleye. Just a sheep's head.
Double drop in the water.
Get this out of the way.
Yeah.
Fire pit has been working today. There we go. Told you, it seems to fire them up after the ferry comes through. It's weird.
Which side do you want them, Larry?
I want them inside the net. So
Can you bring him on this
I'll
side?
go where you go.
Can you bring him on this side?
I'll try and get him over here.
Let's get him in here.
Take your time.
Yep. He's got a little life left. Do an opportunistic net if we
Yeah,
can.
no, we're not jabbing a fish.
Sometimes we'll do a nice...
Do like I did this year on my first fish. I fought that thing forever. I was like, nope. He's zipping around. Fired up a little bugger, isn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Get his head up. All right. Bring him in. Here we go.
Yep, there's a nice one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ferry came through, got the fish wound up. Boom.
Yep, second one on Fire Tiger, so the car ferry actually got the fish moving, and so that's good. Looks like it's a hatchery fish because it's got the fin clipped here, so that's interesting. But, yep, good job, guys.
The beauty of this fishery is it's accessible to most any type of watercraft. A few jigs and a rod is all you'll need to try it out. Thanks to Larry and Eric for showing me a thing or two about the exciting world of salmon jigging. There's nothing like the pull of a salmon on light tackle to get you to come back for more. Give it a try during the fall run of salmon. You might just find a little chrome at the end of the rainbow.